Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 876 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Pyles, joined today remotely, but they're still here in our hearts and over the airwaves. James Dean Rader, Ben Funky Askren. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Did you? Can you confirm good or great Christmases?
I had a good Christmas.
I was not traveling via Ben's touted airline Southwest, so I'm going to go with Great Christmas.
Wow. And that brings us to the first line item of the day. Public apology on behalf of Southwest via Ben Askren. Have you prepared a statement?
Southwest. I don't know what the hell they're doing, bro. They dropped the ball. They effed everyone up. I don't know. It seems like their official explanation, it doesn't it can't possibly match up because it's so much worse. Like, they're canceling like every flight. No one is flying anywhere. Like, how is this possible? It feels like maybe their workers are on strike. I don't know what their deal is.
JD sent me this tweet. JD sent me this tweet that says they have this antiquated staffing system that doesn't update actually where they are. It's like based on just wherever the flights are, and that so they didn't know where everyone was. They had no idea where everyone was, and the only way they could find out was if they called in. And there was like a 23-hour wait for the employees to call in and say, "Hey, I'm here." And then there was a thing where there's the FAA mandated rest time that they have to have. And that doesn't start till they're in a hotel. So it's a tough day for Southwest Airlines. And I'm wondering how much
tough week, tough month, boy, more than a day, boy.
I will say, though, I did just book a Southwest flight for later.
That's a good guy. Forgiveness. That's divine.
Fearless JD.
That's true.
Yeah. This is a classic buy low situation. So, and it's possible that some of these scratches are travel related, but we're going to start with scratches because, man, this show has taken a lot of turns in the last 24 hours because I was all excited to talk about 125. We're going to have Courtney and Figueroa duking it out. We're going to have Patrick Glory. We're going to have all these guys. It could be a really good tournament. And then it's like, okay, Figueroa's not in the bracket and Glory's up at 33. Well, that's interesting to talk about, so let's talk about that. But now, Patrick Glory out of the bracket entirely. So now it's another half twist in this twist and turn of Patrick Glory's season. And he's not wrestling at the Midlands. He was entered at 133. He was in the bracket. We all saw
Can we confirm he was at weigh-ins? Maybe he missed weight for 133.
I was told last night. I was told last night he was scratching. So it wasn't that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they entered him at 33 and then maybe he had a change of, because the ramifications of wrestling up a weight class, if you weigh in around the weight, is a long time before you can descend back down to your weight class. So
which is really dumb, of course.
It is of course dumb because all these guys weigh over that weight class during the course of a week, but that's neither here nor there. So what would happen if Patrick Glory weighed in at 133? It would be
probably take 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
29 days. 29 days.
4 weeks, yeah.
For him.
That's a month.
It's a month. So maybe they're like, well, hey, if you're not sure you're going to stay at 33, it would probably be smart for you to not do this tournament altogether and have a weigh-in that's high. This is all speculation, of course, and I asked Coach Ayers, hey, because Quincy Monday also is up at 165 after
what's up with that? Is he actually staying there?
So that's what I asked, and Coach Ayers was like, basically, I literally don't even know right now what's going to happen. So we don't know. They don't know. I think the decisions will probably be made sooner rather than later. It's not generally a good sign in your tournament or in your season when you're changing weights like this mid-year. But it could be the move. I mean, for Glory, it's interesting because I remember after his freshman year, I was like, there's no way this guy goes 25 again. I just thought he was so big, and he's just been able to suck it up and make it every year. But I think it may be that time has come to an end of him making 125. I kind of hope not. I just think it's 125 is more interesting with him in it.
Yes.
And 133.
I mean, without Glory at 125 becomes meh.
Yeah, it's the Spencer coronation. at least there's something.
Yes.
There's an angle with Patrick where it's like, well, this guy is
There's
literally
a chance, a
Yeah,
really
it's
small one.
you got something that to say. It's like, all right, well, you're tuning into that match. You are curious, and you're gonna watch.
And then
way.
if it's close, Sparks is gonna say, "I told you."
Yeah. Yep. And then so but without him in there, you know, what is that weight? And
Dang.
you know, and him
McKee goes to 2.
McKee goes to 2. I don't know if he's ever made it out of the first period with Spencer Lee. First period.
Oh my God. Wild.
Yeah. So
Dang.
that's really the top news. Ridge Lovett also out. He was entered at 149. Everyone was excited to see him, and I think Gomez, Parco, Thomas. But
so why is he out?
I heard travel with him.
Really?
On the Southwest plan.
He probably blamed.
You could drive. That's not even that far. It's like 6 hours.
Well, what if he's in Idaho, where he's from?
Oh, okay. I already go to Idaho.
Have you been to Idaho?
I have. I've been all 50 states. I went there one time. I recruited the Idaho State tournament. It was pretty thin. And then I went to Glacier National Park in Yellowstone, and we drove through Idaho to get to northern Montana.
Yeah, Idaho. I've never been. I'm told it's really sweet. It looks sweet.
No, actually, I flew into Boise one time too to go to Western or Eastern Oregon, and Boise was like the cleanest city I've ever been in. Like it was immaculate.
Really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It felt a little like Singapore. Singapore is ridiculously clean. Boise felt similar. Like no garbage anywhere, no graffiti, no nothing. Just like super like nice and clean.
Oslo was like that too. Not to rub
Really?
it in, JD, but it was.
I want to go to Oslo.
You should go. You can go.
Yeah, I only hear about it every week.
There's no laws against it. You can go.
So funny. So Midland's actually going to start while we're on the show right now, correct?
It will. Yeah, it'll for the last like 15 minutes of the show. It'll be happening. Also, Austin Gomez is out.
What?
At 149. So now it's Parco is
when did this happen?
Cal Parco, #1 seed.
I don't know. Between last night and this morning, I don't know.
Wow.
Let me see if I might be able to get some Gomez info.
Why is he out? Ridge's brother Johnny got moved to the number 8 though.
Yeah, there will be a Lovett.
So don't leave it.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm asking.
You're a nerd, JD. I didn't expect dad jokes out of you.
So yeah, a lot of changing, and it's I'm seeing a lot of this on Twitter. It's like everyone is sort of just disappointed over how if you've been following wrestling for 5+ years, you know what this used to be.
How are you not surprised?
But
this year's been pretty good though, guys. This year's been pretty solid.
Well, we haven't had a whole lot of big tournaments yet. I guess CKLV.
Vegas
CKLV falls.
All the duels have been good.
CKLV works because it falls on I think a good time of year.
Yeah.
But I think around the holidays is just a little. So I don't know, but if you just think about even 5 years ago, just like how insane the Midlands and Scuffle combo used to be, and I'm not blaming the freaking Soldier Salute for that. I mean, one more tournament is not the issue here. It's just general. I mean, if these brackets had just simply materialized as they were supposed to, these Midlands was looking really tough and Scuffle was looking really tough, but. Iowa State's basically not sending any starters to the Scuffle. No Swiderski, no Pinheiro, no David Carr, no Younger Bastida, no Marcus Coleman. Going to the Scuffle. Midlands, obviously, we're not talking about the matches that are happening. We're talking about the matches that were going to happen that are now no longer happening.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just it is sort of disappointing because we have a very recent comparison to how epic this weekend. This like 4 or 5 day stretch used to be. And it's just not that anymore. And I don't know if we see a return to it, to be honest. I think it's going to get more.
I mean, but it's one of those, Christian, where I know we talked about like, protecting seeds or, not doing as many matches. But yeah, so I was going to say, I don't think it's that either. I still have this feeling like, well, obviously there may be a couple people who are in that boat, but a lot of the guys should be thinking or are thinking, well, if I could beat this guy or that guy, then I can move up, right? So So I wish we could get a line by line explanation on why certain guys didn't show up because it is really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, a prime example of that is Richie Figueroa. Like this was the tournament where you were going to cement
Yes.
yourself as the starter at 125 for Arizona State. Now
Yes,
Courtney's going to
100%.
come there. I think Courtney. I don't even understand. I mean, Ben, you brought this up, but I don't understand why Courtney's not the 1 seed here. And
Yeah.
Barnett is, but it's probably just because he hasn't wrestled a match yet. But I mean, I think Courtney's got a great shot at winning this tournament. And now, if you're Arizona State, then you're really in a predicament here because you could have seen this is the perfect type of bracket
Yeah,
for
you
them
could
both
have
to
had it.
hit. Even if they didn't hit, you would have a great basis of comparison to make a determination. And now, who knows? Courtney could go 1 and 2 here. I don't think that's going to happen.
Come on, stop.
Weirder things have happened.
He's going to semis easy.
He's semis easy.
Then,
I agree.
Yeah.
But you never know. Killian Cardinale, I'm excited that he's back. I don't know if we'll see him the entire tournament. This is his first tournament back. It's a tough one.
Don't forget Scuffle 3 years ago. He made the finals and didn't wrestle against McKee.
I think that was literally last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't last year.
Are you sure?
No, was it last year? No, I'm not
It
sure.
was either last year or two. I think it was last year.
They wouldn't have the because you know what? They wouldn't have had the
2021. They did
Corona year because they started after January.
You guys lived 3 years in this last year.
Well, I knew it wasn't 2, so I was rolling the dice on either 1 or 3.
Let me look here.
It had to be last year.
Yeah,
right?
medical forfeit last year.
Tony Hugel says just start the season in January if all these people are going to sit out.
An option. I mean, there is a clamor for a 1 semester sport. I don't know how much of that is an issue. Ben and JD wrestled as college wrestlers. How much harder is it that it's a 2 semester sport?
I love it. I just wanted to wrestle a bunch. I'm unrelatable.
It doesn't count. That's the problem. You can't get an actual real perspective
I just wanted
from
to
a real
wrestle
person.
matches.
Ben is so Ben doesn't even know what Ben recently found out there were consolation brackets in college tournaments. He didn't even know they existed.
Didn't know.
And JD, not to say you found a fair. You're a little more relatable than Ben. I'll just say that, more relatable.
The college season is very long to some of us.
Yes, for some. It's long. So anyway, that's happening. I'm trying to think of other guys not wrestling because we have a lot of preview content about this tournament out that you can be consuming, and we want it to be accurate. But the info is ever changing, as we know.
Yes, I looked at the brackets last night, and I thought it was pretty good looking. And then I woke up this morning and Christian's tweeting about all the people that pulled out, and it was like, gross.
Yeah. Austin Gomez is resting.
Who said that?
The good
sources
say this person probably would not care. Just in case he's resting,
taking a rest.
Well, they got to update this bracket.
What bracket?
What'd you say, buddy?
You said Gomez is wrestling.
He's not. He's
resting.
Resting.
Oh, he's not.
He said resting.
You said
wrestling.
Those are confusingly close words with very different meanings. So I'll be sure to enunciate better.
A little R&R.
Yep. Okay. Well, it doesn't start. Never mind. One starts with a W, but.
Soldano, number 1 seed at 84. Wasn't there someone else number 1 last night? Because I don't remember him being number 1.
Good. I don't know if I looked at all the brackets. I don't remember.
I'm excited to see him scrap a little bit.
Dude, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Who will he? Man, he should cruise.
Clayton Whiting, baby. Clayton Whiting beat him last year. That's who's he. Clayton Whiting. Oh, damn. Clayton Whiting's got a tough first rounder. Dylan Fishback.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Crazy. How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen?
That's
like Fishback had a good start of the year or no?
Someone should look at that and just be like, all right, come on. These guys shouldn't hit that early.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so Whiting,
Whiting's only got 1 loss this year. He's the 6th seed. So it's Fishback is the one that's non-seeded.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
Let's see.
someone came out because Reese Hell. Yeah, this
Yeah,
bracket was different.
Fishback's got 2 good wins. He beat Burkhart and Haas from Nebraska, and he only lost 4-2 to Lenny Pinto.
And that was at the Journeyman event.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. So yeah,
How would
Soldano, he's gonna have a lot of winnable matches here for sure. I mean, he could very well win this tournament. Obviously, he's the 1 seed, but he is a freshman and he has a really weird
Yep.
style. But
Can he string together a tournament?
Yes.
So
Yep.
we're gonna find out.
Yep. So great test for him. All right. Well, now I'm wondering who else is out. Braxton Amos, the 1 seed at 197. Bronigal, the 2. Stout, the 3. Stout, the 4. We got Stout on Stout here. It could happen.
Mhm.
We're maxed out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got all the dad jokes tonight.
Dude.
Just stop.
Are you home? Is that why? Is like your dad level been unlocked now? Because you're like
Probably, yeah. That's it. Once I get back in the Midwest, I just can't help myself.
you were with Dan for Christmas, and now it's just like he just
Mhm.
loaded you up on dad jokes. Okay, cool.
They pretty much changed all these brackets since last night, and I'm recognizing I'm looking at all the AWA
100%.
guys, and none of them are in the same spots as they were last night.
It's like why don't I don't know.
It's a
Did
complete
all these
flip.
people
Like,
decide
Vandenbush
like
had-
over the course of between last night and the morning that they're going to be out? That's what I don't understand. Like, why don't you just
That's so weird.
hey, this guy's resting. Why is he listed? This person's not. I understand like a flight thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because I looked at 9 o'clock last night or whatever, and these brackets were way different. Yeah, I also just looked at the Soldier Salute brackets. They're kind of sorry.
Well,
They're
come
not
on.
very good.
It's just yeah. I
You
mean,
get Spencer Lee though.
You got
Spencer-
Spencer Lee, but you got Spencer Lee rolling dudes up because I'm sure if he makes the finals against Drake, they probably aren't going to wrestle. That's highly
Yeah.
unlikely.
yeah, I would not expect that match to happen. That'd be my
So
guess.
yeah,
Could
maybe
see
the
it.
Army kid. The Army kid's kind of scrappy. Maybe he makes the finals. I mean, he'll probably get rolled up too.
Berging versus Ayala will be fun, actually.
Yeah, Berging's good. So Spencer's path, he would have Damian Ryan, then who knows, and then probably Jory Volk, maybe Charles Matthews versus Spencer Lee. That's the match we've been
Jerry
wanting to
Volk
see.
taking out Charles Matthews.
Joy Volk's taking out Charles Matthews.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
I know, guys. Jeez, such Charles haters. Have a little fun. It's a fun band. And yeah, Drake.
no fun
It'll
there.
be fun to see Drake back in action. We will have the archives of this at the end of the day or end of the wrestling day. Posted
Archives of what?
of the Soldier
Matches.
Salute.
Wait, so they're not doing live matches?
No, it's live on Big Ten.
On Big Ten.
But then we'll have the archives.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Are
Um,
they showing all the maps on Big Ten?
I believe so.
Okay, got it.
So beyond that, what is there anything else interesting?
I feel like we're just in a bad mood this morning because all we're talking about is people canceling out of brackets and brackets not being as good as they should have been.
There's still going to be some sick matches.
yeah, there's definitely gonna be some sick matches. Maybe
Who knows? There's another 26 minutes. People can keep pulling out of brackets.
yeah, I know. 20 minutes. People may decide it's time to not
Seriously.
wrestle. So not any beyond that Soldier Salute watch. Anything else you're particularly interested in? Anything that stuck out to you, JD?
No, it's just watching where Spencer's at, seeing if he's maybe a little more in shape. Can he be pushed at all? That's the big one, pretty much.
Yeah, 141 actually. I like it for Midlands. Cole Matthews the 1 seed, Sammy Alvarez 2, Tal Shahar 3, Vasquez 4, and a couple other landmines in here. See Jordan Titus, see Brian Courtney's wrestling in this. I'm pretty sure he's not wrestling anymore, but he's wrestling today. It's interesting. That could be a fun wait. Cole Matthews. He wrestles it close, so could be a potential upset situation.
Mm-hmm.
Some organizations are still lying to people that he's number 1 in America too, which is very sad.
Wait, what?
They're pretending that the Alirez match didn't happen.
Are you
Very
kidding me? I hate him.
very
So annoying.
dishonest. Very dishonest.
That
Parco,
is dishonest.
yeah, I think Zap's interesting from the 3. I feel like he'll be a guy that just gets better as the tournaments go, as he goes up in weight classes as the tournament progresses and becomes a huge person.
Wait, didn't Zap go down in weight? Yeah,
He
Artemon
did.
went up. Zap went down.
Yes, he went down, but as the tournaments go on, he feels better and he gets bigger and
Oh,
he
okay,
looks like an
okay.
enormous person.
Sometimes that actually works the opposite way, Christian, where guys,
Really?
yeah, as they because it becomes a stress on their body. Their body shouldn't be. I'm not saying this with Doug Zapp. I don't know for sure because actually, as I look back, he actually started his career at 33 and then went to 41 and then jumped all the way to 57 and then came back down to 49. So probably not the case with him. But for certain guys, yeah, it wears on them and wears on them and wears on them. Every time they got to make weight, it's freaking hard. And then and then especially you add the mental part of it, and yeah, by the end of the season, they're like hate their life.
Yeah. No, that definitely happens too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, man, he's wrestled a tough schedule so far because his losses are to Milner, Muir, and Gomez.
Yeah.
But he's got a win over Henson and an injury default win over Parco.
Yep. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's a good wrestler. 57, Artelona now the 1 seed, Model the 2, Chumbly the 3. Holy cow. That's a Midlands
Christian,
bracket.
you know we're live, right?
Yeah, I know. All I can do is be honest with people.
Yeah, Castro's 4. That's not terrible, but yeah, and there's not really very many other landmines in here, so we should probably just move on.
But you contrast it with 65 is now the weight of weights at Midlands.
Yes.
Dean Hamady, Quincy Monday now the 2, Peyton Hall the 3. That's a fire first 3. Now,
yes.
The question with
where
Quincy,
is Quincy gonna weigh in?
It should have happened already, correct?
They definitely did weigh in. I'll see if I can find out. Let me dig. The question,
a guy
here,
Wilder Wickman though, he might just pin Justin McCoy first round.
You think?
Yeah, he's tough. He's taken 30 NAIs twice, so
he
he's
sounds
got some
wild.
scrappy moves. Let's see what happens.
To me, he sounds wild. What do you say?
He's very wild. He actually is. Yes, very wild.
All right, hold on. I'm digging. Keep it moving on 65.
What are we digging?
While I dig.
Well, yeah, I mean, Braunagle's all the way down to 6. So yeah, this is probably the best weight of the tournament, but that's to me that's not saying a whole lot. I would love to just see a round robin between Peyton Hall, Quincy Monday, and Dean Hamidi. That's what
it stinks. Like it stinks we're only going to get Hamidi in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you see that playing out? Both Hamidi versus Hall and versus Monday.
Well, why don't we talk about Hall Monday first? Because that's likely that's going to happen. I would say. I think it's an interesting contrast because Hall is crazy, a lot of attacks, high volume,
all over the place.
Quincy is at home. He's really hard to score on. When he attacks, he most likely scores. Look, he's great reattacks, powerful double leg.
And so you could say that I feel like Christian, you could say like the exact same thing about Monday Hamidi.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I think those matches are very comparable. Both Monday versus Hall and Monday versus Hamidi are the same. Right or no?
Yeah. No, I agree. So how do you see the matches materializing? Like, how do you see who's the favorite in Hall Monday? Because I'm not confident.
Yeah. I think I'd pick Peyton Hall. I mean, the one thing about Monday is the fact that he has been down to 57. So he's not as big as these guys. And it's weird that he's just been bumping up and down in weight class. Like, usually by this point in the season, people got to figure it out. He went 65, then he went back down, then he went back up, and it's something he hasn't figured out. I could definitely. I'm going to pick Peyton Hall, but I could definitely see Monday, staying at home, good position, blast a couple shots and scores on those and wins, say 5-3 or something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this being a 3-2 win. If it's 3-2, I think Monday probably won it.
Yeah, I don't think it's 3-2 because I think in either situation because I think that if Hamady or Hall is losing, they're going to pressure so hard that they're going to give up another takedown if they lose, right?
Possible.
Otherwise, they would get the takedown and win.
That's fair. Very fair. That's to me, it's one of the more interesting matches. And for me, I still am like, I get Glory going up. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. I'm with you.
I don't understand why he would go. And when I was at Princeton, the general consensus was Quincy's not that big. He should be at 57. It was like,
he's not that guy, pal.
Maybe he just wants to challenge.
I'm not saying he's not that guy. I'm saying he's not that big.
Yeah.
That wasn't my observation. That was what I was being told.
You know, on track, obviously, if you go to the wrestlers tab, lots of times they'll actually enter the weights, but they, you can see the actual weight of the weigh-in. It's not on there for Midlands, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Maybe, and listen, if he's doing this, it's freaking awesome. Maybe he's just going up for the challenge, because you look at 65 versus 57. It's like, well, the 65 pounders are way better. Maybe he just wants to go for the challenge. I can't say that for certain, but there's definitely a possibility of that.
You can't hate on that.
And that's fair. And he
can
literally did that.
Maybe, but you can't hate it.
He literally did that with the car match. That was like kind of, he's like, let me challenge myself, wrestle against this guy, legacy match, etc. And then he went back down. Now, it's definitely trickier to do it at this point in the year, because it would be.
Yeah, I mean, what if he doesn't weigh in all the way at 165? If he's not that big and he weighs in at, say, 161 or something to that effect, then it's only a couple weeks till he can go back down.
True.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So he only has 3 matches this year, and all of his official matches are at 157.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know. If he beats Hall, it would stand to reason he can beat Dean. Dean is my pick to win this weight.
Makes sense.
I think Hall beats Monday.
Hall Hamady would be more fun than Monday Hamady, because Hamady and Hall was a lot of fun last year, and I can't really imagine it going any differently.
I'd say probably the best scramble I saw. It may not be as technically incredible.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
But for me, it was amazing sequence. Yes. So yeah, I would love to see that one again. But if Monday comes through and wins this bracket, maybe that's a statement. It's like, okay, he's ready to climb the rung, and maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe it's like, all right, let me see. I don't know where exactly I fit at 165. Let me enter a really tough bracket, and if I don't do well there, I'll go back down. And if I do well there, then maybe I'm ready to beat all these guys.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, we usually
I don't either.
You look at 165. I mean, you look at 57. The top 3 beyond Monday: Rob, Coleman, Luan. Okay, those guys are good. They're good, right? And then you go to 65. Okay, and you go O'Toole, Griffith, Carr, Hamady, Hall, Amin, Karchla. It's like it's just not really comparable to me.
They're not. They're certainly not. 57 is just. There's no doubt that 157 is Quincy Monday's best path to win a national title.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is a indisputable fact. He doesn't have to agree with it. He doesn't have to choose that path, but to me, it is just simply true. So yeah, we'll see what happens out of this tournament. Probably the number one story to watch at 160 in this tournament is 165 and how Quincy Monday fares, because it could have national implications, and the beneficiaries of that will also be the 157-pound weight class. If he balls out here, 157 just got that much more winnable. Now, Peyton Robb has probably looked like the best guy this year. If you had to say, he's not ranked number 1, but if you had to just give like a first semester MVP at that weight, it was definitely him. He's been very impressive.
Another fun. I think you tweeted about this last night. Berwick Lamont at 33. Let's have some fun, boys.
That would be fun. If it happens,
it would have to happen in the wrestlebacks.
It would, or the finals.
Well, that's unlikely. but sure.
Um,
Fair enough.
yeah, so it's possible. At the very least, we'll just have a placement comparison.
Yep.
It would have been cool if they were the 8-9 somehow, then they would hit.
Move them down just for fun.
I know. Instead, people keep dropping out, so they move up. Actually, they were the 7-8 or 6-7 or something to start the tournament. Who knows? They may be the top 2 seeds by the time the tournament starts.
Yeah. You know the other guy who I was annoyed who didn't get who I thought should be seated in here.
Cannon?
Sorry, I'm at 41. Sorry.
Okay.
Josh Edmond. He had a decent year last year at 149. And they seeded all the way down until 10, I think. He didn't even get a seed.
No seed. That's weird.
No seed. Yeah, I mean, he had some solid wins last year, so I think he's the guy that can shake up the 141 bracket. The other one that I looked at these brackets last night. Zeke Seltzer generally wrestles 133.
Yeah, he's up.
And he was in the 133 bracket last night, and now he's up.
Yeah, too much seltzer over the break.
Yeah, allegedly.
Now he's up at 141.
Let's see. Who was Edmund's best win last year? He lost to Colin. I think he beat Colin at the duel. Jerron Jensen. Oh, he lost to McDougal. McDougal's in the brackets, I believe, or did he get taken out? He beat Manzone Bryant. Now? What's up?
Is McDougal out? No, he's 49.
Let's see. Is he in the brackets still?
McDougal. No,
I don't see him anymore. He's out.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Where are all these people going?
Oklahoma only has 5 guys entered now, and none of them are all that great, and 3 of them are at 157.
Man,
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't get it. Are they mad at us? I haven't been monitoring the socials. Are they okay with this conversation?
No, because we're just bitching the whole time. We're just complaining.
It wasn't the plan. Wait, we talked 65. Yeah. That was substantive. That was about wrestling that's going to happen. Give us a little credit. Okay, I'm looking through the other brackets here while we're cruising. Heavyweight, anything going on there? Colton Schultz is back. Could see him versus Davison. Slavakuski in the mix. Trent Hilger's the 4. So
yeah, heavyweight's actually a pretty solid bracket because you kind of go deep. Yeah. Wolfgram at 8 and Houghton at 9 are both pretty scrappy. Yes. Maybe even deeper than 65 potentially. Yeah, Slinger at 11. He's tough. It's a good bracket.
Stefanik's in there, heavyweight.
Oh yeah,
along with Matt Cover, his teammate.
Matt Cover, great name.
Okay. All right, that's Midlands. It starts today. It'll end tomorrow. It could end today if people keep dropping out. This could be a one-day tournament before we know it.
We're gonna move it to a one day.
The way this is going, no, they wouldn't do that. The soldiers will be saluted today as well.
Yeah.
That's just going to be an Iowa bloodbath for the most part.
Yeah, we shouldn't even talk about the scuffle because we have 4 days between now and wrestling.
Yeah, we have 4 days, but 0 shows. So
yeah, but it's like we talk about. This is where I feel like this is where like 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago or 1 year ago, where it sucked because you would talk about something and then that something wouldn't happen. You'd be like, why did I freaking waste my time talking about something that's not going to happen? This is dumb.
Okay, well that's just like okay. I mean, everything could not happen, and then there's no point in having the show. The whole point is
life could end tomorrow, Christian.
That's right.
There's a meteor headed towards Earth. You don't know.
Well, Bruce Willis is on it, so I'm not worried. But one interesting nugget for Soldier Salute. I'm excited to watch Wyatt Volker.
Oh yeah, I agree.
He could hit if he makes the semis. He would see Jacob Warner there, which I'd be excited to watch that match.
Mm-hmm.
Could be as tough as anyone. It could be as tough as anyone Warner will face in this bracket. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think he's good. Remember, I was suggesting that they bring him out of redshirt for it's not bring him out of redshirt. They do the freshman gimmick where they can wrestle him.
Freshman 5.
I don't know why they didn't because
So I found out they're just saving him for duels later this year.
Okay, that's what's happening.
Yes.
But yeah, because I mean, they really could have used him. Their other 97-pounder kind of got his butt kicked by like the Gavin Hoffman match. Obviously, was kind of a drubbing, and that
Yeah.
that would have helped to have someone better in that
And
match.
they still won that duel, which is crazy. So looking ahead for you and I, yeah, they've got quite a few duels. They're gonna have Wyoming, Missouri, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Iowa State, Wisconsin. So I could definitely see 5 in there where he gets utilized, and he will definitely help them win some dual meets potentially.
I was a little bummed that we're not going to see UNI starters. I would like to see them against
I agree.
some of the Hawkeye starters, especially weights like 41 and 49, 65 would have been fun too. And I know UNI wants that duel, so it's a bummer to see that they had the opportunity to wrestle.
Well, do they? Just because I mean, I'm literally speculating, but this is basically Iowa's tournament. Maybe they're like, no, you're not sending starters here.
No, you know what's funny? I don't know why. I guess I thought Parker was go. I just saw Parker. He was at where he was working out the other day. I don't know why. I thought I asked him. I thought he said he was going, and then when I looked at the bracket, he wasn't there.
Maybe,
But I obviously was confused or something.
I don't know. I'll ask.
Yeah, it makes sense to just go right down the road. That whole North Iowa won't wrestle North Iowa it just reminds me again that because you guys brought it up, it's so effing petty. It is like it's 5-year-old stuff.
Yeah, they both
It's
should
preposterous.
figure it out. It'd be so awesome for those teams to
Yes.
duel. I get Iowa. Like, listen, they have a tough enough schedule. They're wrestling the Big Ten. But just for the state, I just think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's so close, and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, bring it back.
I agree.
I don't see it happening, but you never know. Okay,
You want to do some questions? What do you want to do?
let's talk about the scuffle. We're gonna talk about the scuffle, Ben. I know you don't. You're trying to get out of here. I don't know what you're trying to do. But
No,
we're gonna,
I'm
this is
literally,
like
I already literally
Ben. Typically, this would be like one of the biggest shows of the year because we're doing a Midland scuffle preview. So I don't know if you're trying to get out of here at 9:15, but we're gonna talk about the Southern scuffle.
I have nothing to. I actually have nothing to do. I got a private lesson at 10:30. And I have nothing to do at all.
Okay, then
All right.
JD, why don't you tee us up for the scuffle? Some of the things you're excited about.
I think number one is rematch of the NCAA finals at 165 pounds.
Oh, baby.
Heck yeah. Could see Keegan O'Toole, Shane Griffith, David Carr not in the mix there at 65. Yeah, definitely want to see that bout between those two.
It was close.
It was
Last
close.
year,
I kind of forgot how
third.
close. I kind of forgot how close it was, like how in the balance
Yeah.
it was.
Yes.
Keegan gave up the first takedown.
Yeah.
Keegan loved giving up the first takedown last year.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. That
was like the only match he gave. He shut everyone else out at nationals.
At nationals.
Yeah. See it at the nationals. Very cliche.
Yeah, I don't know. Griffith hasn't been great this year. You know, he 3-2 win over Roderick Mosley, 4-2 overtime win over Connor Brady. But you know, who knows? Maybe he's rounding into form as the season goes on. I think Keegan wasn't totally healthy in the national final, so and a bias. So I think Keegan's gonna win.
Connor Brady kept it close with Keegan too.
Not this close, not overtime close though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hayden Hall took him down.
Took who down?
Keegan.
Why was the score 3-0 then?
It depends who you ask, I guess.
No, how about the referee? That's a good determiner.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I literally rewatched that match like, I don't know, a month or so ago. I was like, man, in my mind, Keegan just kind of controlled it and won it. He gave up the first takedown. It was very, very close match.
And then obviously there was the one takedown that was reviewed that was initially called the takedown, but I mean I obviously don't think it was, and then it got waved off.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm trying to think if I were setting the line, if I would make it 1.5 or 2.5 in favor of Keegan. I feel like 1.5, everyone would go Keegan, but 2.5, is too much.
I think it's 2.5.
Probably 2.5.
Who would you take then, Christian?
Man, I don't know. Connor Brady held it to 4. No offense, but Shane Griffith's a national champion who took this man down. I'd probably take the under, honestly.
Okay.
I think there's an element of respect there too.
I'll take that bet.
I think there's a lot of respect. Also, anytime you're in a match, you know it's a big match, good match. It's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of those guys they throttle it back a little bit instead of going wild on them. Do you think is that a fair take?
Yeah, I think it's a fair take. Well, I mean, it's you kind of have to, right? Because if you respect someone's skill level, you can't just go doing things that are crazy because you know that they're good enough to actually stop you. Whereas if I'm wrestling Joe Schmo, I can just kind of do whatever I want and I'm still going to end up on top of them. So who cares, you know?
Try Cowboys. You ever hit a cowboy, Ben?
I beat up on so many college kids over break. I didn't get to wrestle with Keegan. He ran away from me. He was scared. He went to his grandma's house. But I don't ever really wrestle hard because sometimes I guess I wrestle hard with Sinclair sometimes. Maybe Mitchell a couple times. But usually I just I coach. Like I try to help them get better. And in college break, I just try to beat their ass. It's
Really?
so much fun. Yeah, I never get the brawl, so I just shake their hand, try to beat them up. It's so much fun.
Who'd you get to wrestle with?
We had a lot of guys. You see that picture? We had 40 guys in the room that one day.
I did see the picture. Bader was telling me about it.
Yeah, it was great. That was our biggest day, but yeah, I got to wrestle with quite a few college guys.
Did you ever hit throws, Ben?
Not really. Every once in a while.
Anti-Greco?
I was Greco American at Fargo. Yep.
Wow.
Before I hung up the Greco shoes. And in MMA, I did quite a few upper body techniques because I was a superior wrestler.
You're a good body locker. You always had a good body.
Well, it's really hard. You can't do a single leg or really a high crotch. They're not as effective in MMA. So when you just go to a leg and then come up to the body, and then they're not as good of a wrestler, it's kind of easy to throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a lot in MMA, but not too much in wrestling.
Why are you giggling, JD?
Nothing.
Oh,
the chat.
Oh, wow. Inside joke. This is fun. There's the picture of Ben and his crew. These are all people he brutalized. He thinks it's funny.
Well, not all of them. Was
Parker there?
Parker's there.
Yeah, I see him.
He's right there. He's on the top 4th from the left. He's the one that's balding.
Did you scrap hard against him?
No, you know what? He barely wrestled. He was a chicken too. He said he wanted a light day or day off, so he kind of played with Sinclair and Mirasol a little bit, and then didn't really wrestle.
Whoa! And Keegan wasn't there at all.
No, Keegan was there.
Okay.
No, the one day it was getting towards the end, and I realized I haven't got to wrestle with Keegan, and I've been winning, so I'm well, I want to see if Keegan can whoop me or not, you know. And so I said hey, let's go tomorrow, and he's oh, I'm going to my grandma's house. I said, I got this really funny chicken emoji I send people that it really makes me laugh every time I send it to me. You want to see it?
Put it in the doc or.
I'm just gonna show you because I'm gonna scroll back. This one right here. This one really makes me
Oh.
That one really makes me laugh. So I sent that to him.
Wow. Do you think he might be able to beat you now?
Definitely might be able to. I want to see it.
Yeah, I think you're bigger. You're bigger. That's gonna help.
I got a little weight on him. He's not that, especially in summer though. He's not that small.
Well, he's got to be lean now. He looks pretty small to me. I mean, you know.
Yeah, he's got to make 165, but that's just what I'm saying. In the summers, I want to say he was almost 180, maybe 180. He's kind of big.
I sent Mark Bader up there. Was he behaved? Did he get you?
Mark Bader, he didn't scrap at all.
He was working.
I wanted him to get excited, put some shoes on, because there was a few high school kids in there too. You know, he could have grabbed the high school kid and beat one of them up or something.
Yeah, but he was on his grind. But he was behaved.
He was. Let's see. Was he Mark Wader well behaved? Yeah, you know, actually, what happened the last day though? He was leaving at 4 a.m. for the airport, or 4:15 a.m. for the airport.
Yeah,
and he had a rental car, and he busted into my room. like 420. He's like, dude, my car won't run. And his car would only go it would go like 10 miles. I don't know. I don't even know what was wrong with it. They ended up towing it, but his rental car would only go 10 miles an hour. So
Oh my
he was trying to
gosh.
get to the airport and he's like, I can't. So then I had to wake up and drive him to the airport at like 420.
Dang, good friend.
I know, right? Yeah, it
420.
was
Keith
brutal.
Gothard just got excited. Speaking of Keith, Apollo, we're gonna be. First of all, I can't wait to meet Apollo. I have so many questions for Apollo Gothard. He's gonna be wrestling at the Southern Scuffle.
Nice.
We'll be cheering for him for sure. All jokes aside, go Apollo, and the rest of the Little Rock crew will be there as well. Love seeing Coach Ayersman and Crop there, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for giving him a ride. That's what a catastrophe.
Seriously, yeah.
That's never happened to me with a rental car either. They always are pretty. I'm sure. I don't think it's ever happened to Bader either.
I mean, it was one of those days. I have no idea because I don't know anything about cars, but it had to be something with the cold. Because it was when Mark was here, it was like -5 for a high the one day, and like -2 for a high the other day.
Oh my gosh!
The day before, so Mark wanted us to do some outside stuff. He wanted us to play disc golf, and it was like 12 degrees the first day. I'm like, Mark, why? So we actually we appeased him. We went outside and threw some discs. Even though it was so freaking cold for the Keegan film. But yeah, then the next 2 days it was like negative whatever, and we didn't go outside at all. It was terrible.
And isn't the ground just completely snow covered?
Yes.
Oh wow. Perfect disc golf conditions.
I know, right? Seriously.
When are you gonna wise up and move down south? The land of tacos and flip flops. You can't wear flip flops. Not comfortably.
I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire when Ozzy's out of high school. I'm gonna retire to Austin. I'm gonna have a wrestling academy there. I'm gonna do it in the winter, and then I'm gonna come up here and coach in the summer. It'd be great.
This is perfect. Okay, that's it won't be long before young Ozzy's walking across that stage. It happens fast, right. Ben. It happens fast. I don't know. It's not that long. You'll snap your fingers, brother. I mean, you've seen it. You got kids. It's like it's a freaking instant. Anyone here with kids knows it's crazy how fast it is. I can't believe mine are 11 and 9.
People say that, and obviously, like I can remember when my kids were babies, and my kid is my oldest is almost 10 now. But also seems like it kind of also at the same time feels like they've been here forever. Like my kids have been part of my life forever. It seems like almost longer than 9 years.
I'm with you. I felt like the first 3 years were long. Those are tougher years.
Yeah, I agree. Don't you do the thing ever where you're like, you try to remember? I feel like post college, a lot of stuff kind of blends together. So I think about like something that happened like 2011 or 2012, and I think, oh, was Alex there?
Yeah.
But she obviously wasn't. She wasn't born until 2013. So it's like I feel like she's been here like through kind of almost like after we moved to Wisconsin, which was 2011. I feel like she's been here for all that stuff, but she hasn't.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, like I think about I took Caleb on that Final X road trip, and that was in 2018. He was like 7. Like that was actually a long time ago, but to me feels like a recent memory we had.
Interesting.
So I don't know, man. I think it's snapping pretty quick now.
Okay.
I'm definitely trying to slow it down. That's for sure.
Stop growing up.
Stop growing up. Stay here. Billy Madison thing. Someone needs Avery wants a Ozzy Man Strong Boy and Caleb update. How's Ozzy's training going?
Ozzy, well, we actually have a break over Christmas because the one session ends prior to Christmas, and then the other session starts after New Year's because we always just found to have so many issues moving dates around and whatnot.
He's not gonna be ready for nationals like that.
Oh my God, so funny. Yeah, he's not wrestling in nationals for I don't know. We'll just say a really long time.
It'll be a year at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Is he asking about battling?
Dude, okay, so last night my wife's like, we do not have great sleepers in my family. And so last night my wife's like, hey, I want to sleep through the night. So can you get up with the kids? So first my 7-year-old tries to come and sleep with us at like, I don't know, it was the middle of the freaking night, So I'm like, hey, I'll go into your room. So I go into her room. and get her back to sleep and lay there for a while. Then freaking Ozzy's like, and I'm like, oh, God dang it. So then I go into Ozzy's room, and so it must have actually been later than I thought it was, because he like cuddles me for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to go to sleep. So he's kind of, I thought he was sleeping, and so I kind of turned my back, and he first he starts like pushing his elbow into my back, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
what's he freaking doing? And then so I move a little bit so he doesn't have his elbow digging in my back, you know? So he starts freaking kneeing me in the back. And I'm like, what the and then I'm like trying to ignore him, you know, he's not strong, he's a 5-year-old, right? So he starts elbowing me in the back. And finally I'm like, Ozzy, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't like to sleep. I like to battle. God dang it, it's time to sleep. Not time to battle.
Man. That's rough. I've been blessed.
Then I realized I went out and saw my phone and it was 7:05. I'm like, okay, fine, get up. And then I went and slept back in my own bed.
You let him up, but you didn't have to battle him at least.
No, I did not have to battle him.
That's good. I was blessed with 2 good sleepers, and then and we stopped it too.
Family.
We just didn't want to roll the dice. Get some wild card that wants to fight me at 5 a.m. every day. Although that sounds kind of fun, honestly.
No, I was just trying to sleep and I was getting elbowed and kneed in my back.
Yeah, that's fair too. Okay.
So funny.
All right, back to the scuffle. Enough
197,
chit-chat.
number 1 versus number 2. Number 1 spot on the line.
And is Rocky for sure wrestling?
Yes, to my knowledge, yes.
Okay, cool. I think he might have missed some time. He's not.
He took one duel off. He didn't wrestle the which duel was it?
He wrestled North Dakota State and Virginia Tech. Yeah, so that'll be
really?
He didn't miss those. I'm saying he wrestled those.
Yeah, I thought there was one he missed.
Yeah, he probably did. He wrestled North Dakota State as well. I thought he missed one too, Ben.
No, so yeah, 197 is going to be one of the best brackets there. It would have been, obviously even better if Younger would have showed up ready to compete. But him versus Laird is, I mean, obviously I would favor him there. And then Jackson Smith and is also a guy who could beat Laird to make the finals.
Yeah, I'm excited for Jackson Smith. As this 197 bracket is just one that's, always crazy.
It really is.
He missed the West Virginia duel.
Yes, that was it.
Rocky. So yeah, that could be a really, really exciting weight class. I'm curious. I feel like Missouri, if they send the cavalry, they should win this tournament from a team perspective.
I'm pretty sure they're sending the entire team. Hey, one thing I got a question for you on Jacob Warner. You guys got him all the way down at the 7 right now. Obviously, he's not going to see anyone very good at the Soldier Salute. And then if you look of the 6 guys above him, there's only one of them that's in the Big Ten. And generally, Iowa only wrestles Big Ten opponents, and Oklahoma State second semester is generally all they wrestle. Mm-hmm. So is he going to be stuck kind of down lower?
Well, if he beats Max Dean.
Max Dean would be the one that he could beat, right?
What can happen here is he's going to have a hard time climbing via head-to-head, but from a seeding perspective, if he wins out, he's going to get a really good seed because he's going to hit a lot.
He'll have to beat Dean twice to win out.
Yeah, he would have to have beaten Max Dean twice. He would, he'd have a number of other ranked wins along the way. He'd have really good winning percentage with only one loss to a really good Bastida. So
because the Elam loss doesn't count.
Because the Elam loss will not count for the seeds.
Allegedly.
But they do factor in things like national rankings, so it'll be sort of considered.
Yeah. But if that happened, then obviously, then if Warner beat Dean twice, then Dean's going to be, he'll have 4 losses at that point, and only a win, and really his only real good win is over Bastida, so that would drop Dean down a whole bunch.
It could. I candidly, I would be surprised if Dean lost both those matches. I'd be, I would favor Dean.
Yeah, I would
in
also
both meetings. I think he will probably win them. He is 2-0 against Jacob, but that's that. Yep. We're saying there is opportunity for Jacob. He's gonna have to seize it.
Yes.
Similarly for Max. And this is a weight where, man, are you really? There's not a great incentive for an awesome seed here, because
I kind of disagree because if you're gonna get the number one, if you're the number one, you're gonna get a 32 or 33 first round.
True.
And then you're gonna get a 16, 17 second round. If you're like the number 5, then the second round you're gonna be getting a 12, right? Which could be like a really good opponent.
Could be someone really good. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like
if you're number 8, you're getting right. You're gonna get some pretty good matchups right off the bat, pretty much.
You'll have someone decent in the first match, and then
and then second match you're gonna have the 9.
Yeah, so maybe you want to avoid that sector.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, interesting to see how that one plays out, because obviously those guys, and the next guy down there is Jackson Smith, and Braunagel will be the next 2 guys in the Big Ten, and it's so it seems like it's gonna be hard for them unless other guys lose a lot. It's gonna be hard for them to move up that much.
Yes, true.
Does 197 have the biggest tier 1 of basically all time right now?
Of all time,
it's like 1 through 9 is basically tier 1.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do we
kind
think?
of is?
What if I said 7 was the cutoff?
But
with
Truex has been what was he 4th at nationals twice
at 84
and 74
and 74, so we know he can do it.
Yeah.
How did he do? There was some 197 was kind of crazy at Collegiate Classic.
Because it went in a circle. So Dean
Trumbull.
killed Trumbull, but I'm sorry. Beard killed Trumbull, but Truex beat.
He
Beard.
lost to Truex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
got to be in
there.
there.
But Trumbull beat Truex, but lost to Beard.
Really weird pin. That was strange how he got pinned there.
Yeah. No, Bernie's got to be in there for sure. And then if Bernie's in there, Trumbull's in there.
You got to put Trumbull in there.
Yes.
If Trumbull's in there, I really like Trumbull. I actually think he's got some holes, but I love where he's good. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Elam last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But he did he got killed. I mean, Beard kind of embarrassed him a little bit.
Beard's so good on his feet. He's so quick to the leg. That's a really bad matchup for him. I feel like someone like Bastida is a bad matchup for Trumbull.
Yeah.
What you really need
Trumbull's
to think...
got a... Go ahead.
Well, who has the style that can navigate the most styles is probably, which that's the answer for every tournament, right? Or for every bracket winner, right? But
there's some, because there's some where there's such a big drop off, from skill sets. 97 is one where they're relatively even. I was gonna say that Trumbull already has kind of a bunch of like solid wins this year because he's got Allred twice, Braunagel, Harvey, Koser, and Truex all so far this year already.
What is the highest ranked or lowest ranked, depending on how you phrase it, person where if I said their name and they were in the NCAA finals, you would say, you're crazy? Where's the first name you're like, all right, no way? I mean,
I said past Trumbull. If you said Jackson Smith, I would be pretty surprised.
Yeah.
Braunagel, I don't think so. But then someone like
at least Jackson is a talented freshman. Like that's not that insane. Braunagel would literally stun me.
Yes,
I would. I would be shocked.
You'd be floored.
I would be floored. Yes. Shane would say, I knew it. So you can't predict these things.
I mean, I guess the other weight class that is kind of like this is 141 because I could see Clay Carlson at 15 has beaten number 1 Andrew Alaris multiple times.
Yeah.
That 141 is still a disaster. We've had some moving around of peoples, but I still feel similarly about it. And I don't feel as though they're as high end as the 90. I mean, the 97-pound competitors, you have a lot of guys who have placed really high at NCAAs previously.
Yeah.
And you don't have as many of those at 141.
Yeah. A lot. I mean, how many? I mean, number one, our number one guy has never been an All-American.
Yes.
And he's a junior.
Yeah.
Bo Bartlett, number 4, never been All-American. Number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically, everyone else but Carlson has never placed. So how many All-Americans are in this bracket then? Matthews, Woods, and Carlson.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Whereas at 97, you look at 97, you're like, okay, Elam's placed relatively high twice. Dean's an NCAA champion. Bastida's placed. Bonacorsi's been in the finals. Beard has placed. Warner's been in the finals. Truex has placed twice. You kind of go deep there. I mean, Hoffman down at 13 is placed. And that's it, right? Caffey at 20 has been ranked number 2 before.
Yep.
D. Perez has been ranked very highly before at 21.
D. Perez, baby. Super. That's super how you say it.
You guys always pick on me.
Keegan Moore's been on every Big 12 team.
So we can pick on Sion.
I know. Oh, he had one yesterday. He came and talked to us. Bader's like, oh, he called Keegan Keenan.
No, he didn't.
He said, Bader goes, Keenan, whatever. I don't know what it is because it's not like he's heard us say his name.
Yeah, I don't want to pick on it, but it might be people who have lived in Iowa because my mom and dad both, they do this thing where, like, Joe Williamson, for example, he was on my college team. He's been my friend for 20-some years now, right? They just keep calling him Joe Williams. It's not freaking Joe Williams. His name is Joe Williamson. You guys have known him for 20 years. Get it freaking right.
I get those two mixed up all the time.
Oh, there was another one what was it? My mom just did the other day, and I was like, Mom, you've known this person for 20 years. Like, how? That's not their name.
My dad's like that with sports people. Like, at some he just doesn't even try sometimes. Like, there was this running back for the Redskins named, well, shoot, now I'm messing up, Alfred Morris, but he called him Albert for his entire career as a Redskin. He just called him. He just be like sitting there watching the game, be like, "Give it to Albert." At some point, it's like, yeah, he's Albert now.
Hey, I'm looking at the Soldier Salute. I clicked over to see if either started at 9. Neither tournament started at 9. Just FYI, you guys probably knew that. I didn't know that. Hey, 3 of the formats have an AWA participant on it at the Soldier Salute. What a tremendous tournament!
What a tremendous tournament! Go AWA. How's your hammer camp? What do you do with those? How long are those?
Well, it's okay. We did 2.5 hour sessions with our lunch break. We had a good time. We wrestle more live because, with our youth group, we don't really wrestle. It's not a lot of guys do tons of live. We don't really do that much live in regular practices. We just don't think it's as important for younger kids. So the hammer camp is a kind of an opportunity for kids to get a little more live, and we do maybe like two or 3 per winter type thing.
Are you ever like, are you watching live, or is it, as a coach, are you looking for like sort of themes to address? Also, like, all right, we're all kind of having a similar problem here.
Yeah.
Do you ever get surprised by the things that emerge?
So obviously when we spar, we always bring everyone in, and not as much with the younger kids, more with the high school, bring them in and say what's everyone struggling with, and sometimes it's easy to see. More often than not, it's not as easy to see. I think it's easier to see in competition because in live, lots of times you're focused on kind of a handful of people at the same time. There's 40 people in the room. Mm-hmm. How do you can't just watch one group, whereas in matches, it's kind of easy to see. So, yeah, I would say that happens more in matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, back to the scuffle we go.
Scuffle.
Milner versus Mahler is potential match at 149. Excited for that. Quietly having an awesome season is Kendall Coleman.
Yes.
So got a win over Luan, and I think his only loss is to Peyton Robb.
he lost 7-3 to Rob, but not only that, he's got a 52% bonus rate, that's pretty high. Trying to look here for his like the Luan win is definitely the one that has elevated him, but
yeah, 16-1.
I kind of feel like this is what we've been waiting for Kendall for a while now. So I'm like, is it pump the brakes time?
It's pump the brakes because I just looked.
Oh wow,
he won the Cliff Keen, but he really only had one big win, and
he did not win the Cliff Keen, guys.
No, he had one big win. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Over Will Luan. And besides that, his next best win is a 6-5 over Chumbley. So listen, I also think Kendall Coleman can be good, but I would say let's get him a few more. So we'll say, I mean, he only has one top 22 win on here. So let's get a few more of those first.
Okay. Hey, Caden G-Feller, he is trying to become the first 3-time scuffle champion at 3 different weights since Kyle Dake. Is he the same tier as Kyle Dake?
Hey, let's go.
That would be something. At this point, they got to let G be at 157, right?
Yeah. Why would you ever change him from that? It's ridiculous.
Don't change him. He's perfect.
If he tries changing him, John Smith needs an intervention.
No, don't say that.
John, you will not make him make that weight.
Let him eat. He's a father. He's trying to put food on the table, you know?
Yeah.
So let him eat the food that he's putting on the table for his family. That's all we're asking. Let him go out.
I agree.
Nourished, you know? This bracket could be great. Kendall Coleman, Jared Franick, Caden G-Feller, Brayton Lee. Big bounce back opportunity for Brayton Lee. He can right the ship totally, and remove all doubts. And Jared JQ's at 13. I'm excited for this one. Who would you pick in this one?
Let's see.
Franick already beat Brayton this year.
So did G.
Jeez, yeah. My gosh.
And I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but the fact that he couldn't take down either of them is very concerning to me. If it was like a 7-5 match or something like that, but I think it was 2-0, and I want to say like 2-1 tiebreakers or something like that with Franick. So I'm gonna roll the dice with Franick.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going Kendall Coleman.
I'm kind of like, man, you look at the entirety of Brayton's career, are we due for regression back the other way with him?
But sometimes it's just sometimes it's not a regression to the mean. It's just a regression. Like
this is the new mean.
Correct. I'm reading this book. It's really good. It's an author I really like named Stephen Kotler. He's written some good books on motivation and stuff. But it's one of those things where, and it's not like this is the only college kid I've seen this. I've seen this with a lot of college kids. They buy this. He's got to be in his 4th or 5th year, and they're just like not as interested and not as motivated as they have been because they haven't seen much progress as they would like. And what do you mean? No, this happens all the time.
Listen. Well, first of all, his season ended last year with a very bad injury that kept him off the mat for an extended period of time. So
and now he's not the guy you thought he was.
Okay.
I mean,
well, what do you mean? Last year,
are you gonna argue with me that no one's ever like checked out and just not been as good as they had been previously, or what?
Of course it's happened.
It happens significantly.
But basing this on the first 4 matches of Brayton Lee's season, after coming off a season-ending injury that required surgery, I think there's a little. I'm more inclined, and I think your first instinct should be he is not fully recovered or fully trained as he's entering these tournaments. That should be your first thought. If he does this an entire season, then I think it's like, okay, we're talking about 2 matches that happened 5 days apart from each other. And you're letting
But you're talking about Brayton Lee, who was kind of like, I don't want to say an offensive dynamo, right? He had some weaknesses. He wasn't as great defensively. He wasn't as great on bottom, and he scored 1 point in 14 minutes.
Okay.
More than 14 minutes because they went the tiebreaker.
In 5 days, over the course of 5 days, it's a tough stretch. But this is a guy who, this isn't like over his career. This is a guy who last year, 6-4 over Franek. Last year, 15-9 over Wyatt Sheets. 4-3 over Caleb Young.
I got you.
4-0. No, you don't. 4-0 over Peyton
I do.
Robb.
I understand what your argument is, and I understand what my argument is. And I guess it's not decided right now. Maybe we'll see this in a scuffle.
Yeah, I'm not hitting panic button on Brayton Lee yet, but if he really looks like doo-doo at scuffle, I'm hovering.
He's hovering over the doo-doo button.
I just think you are
so mad.
Quick trigger out on this guy.
Quick trigger. I didn't say I'm out. I said there's a significant possibility of that being the case. And the fact that he can only score 1 point in 14 plus minutes, that does worry me. Because if it was something where he was scoring a few takedowns and he got tired and his timing wasn't good and he got scored on back and he lost 7-6, I wouldn't feel that way. But when he can't take down, and this isn't like David Carr or King O'Toole's wrestling. I mean, these guys are good, but he didn't take down Jared Franek or G Feller one time. Luka Wick, who I think is good, he beat Luka Wick 6-5. Luka Wick lost 15-3 to Ed Scott. He lost 13-1 to Josh Humphreys. He hasn't been competitive with those other guys who are at the very, very top of the division, and he had a really close match with Brayton Lee. So, I'm nervous about Brayton.
Brayton was my preseason pick to win. I haven't jumped off ship, but if I'd be lying if I said I'm not feeling great.
Oh, you jumped off the ship. You're not even picking him to win the scuffle. I am. I think he's my pick. Forget the haters.
Are we making scuffle picks?
Well, we have to now. There's no other, as I've explained. We will not have another show until the scuffle.
I understand this. But we could just privately. And then obviously we would save the document so then it's public, right? JD could send us.
If I choose to release them.
And we should only probably do it like an hour before the brackets or an hour before the tournament starts because then we'll know what the actual brackets are.
That's literally fair. We should do that. We should, but
yes,
we should do it then. And we're doing the show Monday, live from McKenzie Arena for me.
Oh, baby.
Deep in the heart of the Noog. Bringing in the new gear the right way. We'll be doing FRL, and we'll talk about our predictions then. We'll make predictions. I'm already making mine. No turning back. I don't care about the draw. I'll take Brayton Lee. Bounce back. Redemption story. Forget the haters. They don't matter, Brayton. Don't let Ben. You know what? Ben forgot that you beat Peyton Robb and Kendall Coleman and Jared Franek.
No, I didn't.
Year.
That was last year.
You forgot. Last year. It's already, he said, old news. What have you done for me lately? He says. Okay, well. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait. You're a man that picked you to win the NCAA championship doesn't think you can win the Southern Scuffle right now. I mean, that's where we're at.
Well, just because someone who he lost to more recently is in the bracket.
That was the past.
Them,
and this really because of where he's
and
seated?
Really he has to beat Kendall Coleman to even face one of those guys.
We'll see how they seed it.
Yeah, I mean,
this is true.
Really, he's gonna have to get like 3, 4, a whole bunch of good wins, three good wins to win this because he's the 4-5 seed.
Yeah, it'll be a tough spot, but we'll see. You know what? Who knows how many of these guys will show up? I mean, candidly, who knows if Brayton will show up? The way these things tend to go. But anyway.
All right, Midland's supposed to start in 1 minute. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Blow them whistles.
Blow the whistles. Okay, next up. Let's look at some of these other weight classes. Man,
you know what looks kind of fun, guys? The watch parties. They look kind of fun. I should just do my own watch parties.
They are fun. They are fun to do.
They're a party.
Who doesn't want to party and watch awesome wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Very fun thing. We appreciate that people tune in for them. That's exciting.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other notable weights here, JD? You isolated 4.
Yeah, 49, 57, 65, 97 are kind of the big ones for me. I mean, it'll be fun to see other top guys in action. Like, can Andrew Alirez make it a tournament. He'll have Alan Hart, Berglund, Drogomiller. That's kind of fun.
Ooh, that's a good
And
one.
Alira's, not a head over heels, far and away number one. So he's gonna have to really work to defend that.
Yeah, and Aliris has had tough matches with Hart in the past. I don't know if he's lost to Hart before, but he has definitely. They had a
Those two and
super.
Clay Carlson, they love to beat each other. I can't remember exactly how they all go, but I
Yeah,
feel like they've all beaten and lost to each other.
Berglund could very well win this tournament.
Yeah.
As well. He's really good. No Caleb Henson, right, at 149.
Now Virginia Tech not sending any starters.
Dang.
Bummer. I'm quickly scanning through. Plot versus Mako could happen.
Let's do that. Mako freaking blew it at conference last year. Let's get this, Mako.
Yeah, that would be a good bounce back win for him.
I didn't get to beat up on him at all because we didn't wrestle.
He didn't. You ducked Mako?
He only came to. He had like a family thing, so I think he only came to 2 open mats, maybe something like that. A couple open mats.
Yeah. Look.
Clayton Whiting claims he got a takedown on me, but I don't think he did. I danger.
Describe the scenario. Let me
my
make
middle
the call.
name was Danger. If you guys would have given me Danger, if you guys would have given me the Danger rule, I had probably a 80-ish% bonus rate in college. You guys would have given me that Danger rule, bro. I would have been 90%. I am sick with the Danger rule.
Do you now? How
like
do you
hip tip type stuff? I got a couple other moves from low single where, like in my era, the ref never would have given me control, but under this Danger, I would have been Danger counting the shit out of them. The ref would have been swiping them.
walk me through the scenario? How does the low single one materialize?
Low single, I go my lightning dump, so I turn this way, get like a chest wrap, and then I pinch my knee over the top of their body, and I grab their ankle, so I kind of finish like a Win Dixie type thing.
Okay, so are they on your low single or you're shooting on them?
They're on my low single.
Okay, well that's good. Good info. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh yeah, I love the Danger rule. Is so cool. I wish that would have existed.
I think it's a great rule. I love it.
It's a great rule.
Some people don't like it. It's like, man, just don't be on your back for 3 seconds.
So easy.
It's easy. If you're on your back for 3 seconds.
If you can hold someone on their back unwillingly, right? Because this is the rule. Back in the day when there wasn't this rule and it wasn't an issue because you weren't penalized for sitting there, then who cares, right? But if I can hold you on your back for 3 seconds, then yeah, you should probably be penalized.
What is a better measurement of control than holding someone on their back for
against their will?
They don't want it. And yet they're powerless to stop it.
Yes. No, I love the Danger rule. It's great. I love wrestling. I wish I was wrestling with it.
We have not said the name Dayton Fix yet.
Is he wrestling?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe Oklahoma State sending their starters. He will not have too much competition, although it's kind of hard for him to find a lot of competition anyway. But still,
remember when Dayton used to wrestle in every single tournament ever?
It was insane. It was insane how much he wrestled. I'm kind of glad he's in a college team now, so it's a little different. But man, he was everywhere. But it was awesome. He just put it on the line, Super 32. Didn't matter. Okay. Want to get to some questions here. Last 10 minutes of the show.
Wait, is wrestling happening? Oh, we got wrestling. Oh, Connor Thorpe up 4-1, baby. Let's go.
Carno Tool could potentially face each other 4 times between the Scuffle, Duel, Big 12s, NCAs. Well, we know it's 3 now. If one of them goes undefeated, should they win the Hodge? This is an interesting question.
I think that will help their case, of course. I mean, obviously, with 165 being the best weight class, whoever wins it, that obviously helps their case. But and then Yanni losing helps their case, and so does Aaron Brooks. So really, I think you're down to a couple good possibilities. I don't think the winner of 33 is going to have a high enough dominance rate to win. So it's going to. Okay, I'll cut to it. I think they're going to give it to Spencer, even if he only wrestles 15 matches.
Yeah. You say that about 133. Roman has 100% bonus rate.
Let's see. But he's only had
major.
he's had 4 matches,
6 matches,
6 matches,
all bonus.
Let's see. So he's had 4 majors? No, 3 majors, 2 techs, and a pin. Yeah, I mean, the best guy's wrestled number 14, Adasayev, he's tough. So I guess who knows? Maybe he could get there.
He could get there. Obviously, the bonus will be reduced as the competition increases.
Yes.
And, wouldn't expect him to bonus a Dayton or a Vito or anyone like that, but he's mounting a case for sure.
Yeah.
An undefeated 165 champion to me
is in discussion.
In the mix, in the discussion,
we'll have
for
a
sure.
compelling argument for sure.
If someone goes undefeated 165, they will be a Hodge finalist, almost guaranteed.
If you're an undefeated NCAA champion, you're a Hodge finalist, basically.
This
no
year,
matter
yeah.
Most years, yes.
Usually that's the case. Not every year. Just depending on how many there are. So I could see that. Now, should he? I don't know. Man, you don't really know. I'll tell you who should win the Hodge after the season's over, because I've just got to be able to. I've got to be able to see everything, right? Like, if Spencer bonuses everyone and wins his 4th title, then he should win it.
It's gonna be Spencer, yeah.
Yeah, I still think it's, if you're setting the odds for the Hodge Trophy, Spencer is minus
a lot.
It's going to be hard for him to not win it, and especially if Glorious not that I'm really thinking Glorious is like a really super realistic, but man, he should kill all these guys. And I'm not overreacting to the Kabam match. Like, not doing that. He did that one time against Chattanooga, and then he had his best year ever. So I'm more inclined to think it's.
And he still got a major at the end of the day.
He still got a major. So
yes,
that's bonus, baby.
I know. And now, which makes the Soldier Salute really interesting, because, like, all right, is he going to be? He gets three pins here.
Kind of easy matches.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, he's gonna pin. These first guys are not good. He's gonna pin them.
Yeah, I mean, he could very well pin all these people. That would
Damian Ryan from Bel Armin. This guy took 5th place in the blue division.
Blue division.
I don't even know how bad that is. It's not even gold, silver, bronze. It's the blue division.
Blue. There's no medal for blue. There's gold, silver. Yeah, blue.
It's a blue division at the Bob De La Rosa blue division.
Well, so yeah,
that's gonna be a pin, like, really fast.
2. He should pin his way to the finals.
Charlie Farmer's actually not terrible, but Spencer's gonna pin him.
Wow, this is the Soldier Salute, not the Farmer Salute. So he will be shown no respect.
Well, Charlie Farmer is actually a soldier.
Oh shoot!
Just FYI.
He's a soldier and a farmer. This is gonna be a tough. You're putting Spencer in a tough position.
He is America's wrestler.
Yeah,
Thank you, Charlie.
Farmers lost to ranked 14 Troy Homan, and ranked number 118 Xander Faturos. So that's going to be a pin too.
They need to let Spencer wrestle in the final, though. Let him.
They need to wrestle. Yes, they need to let that happen.
Although Drake, it's like, would he bonus Drake Ayala? Could he? Obviously.
Probably.
There's got to be some familiarity there. But then again,
but Spencer gets on top. It doesn't matter. Spencer's top game is not a tricky top game. It's a freaking, I'm too powerful. You can't stop me. Your arm's going this way. Your arm's going that way. You're done.
That is true.
Yes.
All facts. And as we mentioned, getting by Berging is that's not a small task. He is tough.
Yeah.
And for Drake, who's been he hasn't wrestled a ton this year, I don't think. Not that anyone has. Who's wrestled a ton? You know who's wrestled a ton, actually? Kendall Coleman. He's wrestled a ton.
Yeah, it was 16-1. No, Drake he had a round robin bracket at the UNI Open.
Yeah, so he's 2-0 with two majors. Over under.
Watching Midlands. So Soldiers Salute put some scores up, but then they took it down. So I don't know what was going on there. Those matches have not actually started, apparently. We got Cole Matthews, a Mat 8 with an insta-death. He's got 4 minutes and 14 seconds of ride time. He is only winning 4-2, but he's got the insta-death time.
But that's trapdoor. He's done. Okay,
sure.
Next question. All right, this is an interesting one. Is a PSU coaching advantage that they are able to get the best out of intrinsically motivated athletes? Well, I don't know what this means. By not getting in their way. Would that explain having super successful athletes intrinsic and substantially less successful extrinsic kids coming out of the same room?
I think this is a interesting question. I think the answer to that is yes. I think there are, because of personality types, and we talked about this with Kale, of his, specifically in his ability to keep Casey and Cody really happy over the last however many years, right? And keeping everyone together. And you think of very, very, very few people have left. And when egos get involved, that's pretty rare in wrestling. And I kind of think the same way of his wrestlers is he seems to not have there's an ego, and there's some coaches who sometimes crap on the wrestlers just because they want to show them, no, I know more than you, I'm better than you, whatever. And Kale seems to be able to keep all of his best wrestlers relatively happy. Is that I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? Disagree?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. I would say, not a lot gets out, but I do think that is something they look for. I don't think they'll recruit a super talent that requires a lot of hand holding. I think they would pass on that athlete, and they're not going to cut the weight for them and do all that stuff and hand hold them through that process, even if they're really, really good. Maybe I think they would probably in certain circumstances, but I think in general, that's what they're looking for. And I think that's what they've had. I think these are just guys you hear about. Roman and Aaron and Carter, and these are just guys that just live it. They just want to train. Greg Kirkfleet, that's what you hear. Max Dean's obsessed with this. And I think they get those kind of personality types, and then they do a lot of other stuff too, and then you kind of get what you have with Penn State over the last couple of years. Like Jason Nolf, Bo Nickel, Zane Rutherford, David Taylor, Ed Ruth. These are workers. These were people that are about it. Like so I think when you have that, it is an advantage. So I don't know. I think that's a good one. I think they don't get in my way. Or don't get in their way. I think about Coach Smith at Missouri and the other coaches I had. Like when I was starting to kind of move in my own direction on the scrambling, they could have easily tried to shit on me, and I think a lot of coaches would, because I didn't have an insane amount of success immediately. Right, that was my redshirt year. I was losing a lot of matches. I was losing in the room, but like things were like I was starting to figure it out, And there's a lot of coaches who'd be like, "Stop doing that. That's dumb. That's not the way it's done. You're not you're losing a lot. You're getting beat in the room." And they would have tried crapping on me, and it would have been very demotivating. And so Coach Smith at Missouri, they were not like that at all. And it's like, oh, that that was, for me, that was awesome. And I gotta kind of think the same way about same thing happens with Kale, but that doesn't happen everywhere. There are a lot of coaches that, no, that's not the way. You're wrong. I'm right. Do it my way, or get lost. Yeah. What would you have done if you were getting a lot of friction there at Missouri?
I have no, I mean, thankfully I don't have to do it, but like, I don't know if I would have been at, say, Wisconsin, and Barry Davis would be like, no, that's not the way it's done. And I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how I would have reacted. I don't know if I would have said, well, I'm going to go somewhere else and I'm figuring this out, or if I would have tried to, or if I would have trusted that person and then not had nearly as much success. Well, that's my thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're so resolute, and you have such convictions. I just like, man, how would that? But you are like.
But it took a while to get to that conviction, right? Because I wasn't. Yeah. It didn't go from nothing to great immediately. It was like a whole bunch of little steps, and like once I got to a certain point, I realized I am moving in the right direction. I need to keep going. But if they would have stopped it before I got to that point, you know what I'm saying? If there was that's not the way wrestling's done, like I might have, if I liked him enough, I might have trusted him and not got there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering too. Is like at that point in your life. Yeah. A real what if.
So a real what if. Yeah, I mean, you think that about a lot of like if you, I love reading, right? And so I read about like a lot of things that became great, or things that became, that were not there and then were there. It's like in those really infancy stages of those projects, they could have very easily been stopped and never been a thing, and it wouldn't have taken a lot. But then, once the ball gets rolling, it's like, no, the ball is rolling. Now it's going in this direction, and we're going to keep in that direction. But before that, then, it feels like things could have been stopped.
Yeah. I think about
But
stuff
yes,
like
Kale is elite there in that department.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I think about the what ifs. I think you think about the wrestlers. And I just think about it with sports too. Like, I mean, the greatest football player of all time was almost not drafted, and then who knows? Maybe we never even know the name Tom Brady. And you think about someone
yes.
like Drew Foster won a national title, and like he was maybe not going to wrestle. I think this like Division I. It's like how many?
Yeah,
So
real.
there are national champions. There's maybe an Olympic champion out there that just the circumstances are just one little choice takes them towards a slightly different path, not even a wrong path, just a different one, and then it doesn't happen. It's
no one's
so
really,
weird to think
funny
about.
one in wrestling that you guys at Flow should do a story on that. I've heard kind of rumors, but if you remember, I don't know if you were a wrestling fan back then, JD, you were probably pooping in your diaper still. But in 2004, when Kale lost to Full Heart at the Olympic trials, I've heard that he was like, he had put so much pressure on himself, right? That he didn't even want to go out for the third match. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. I can't say it's true. I haven't heard that from Kale. I've kind of heard rumors of that, and then Bobby was able to talk him off a ledge and get him out there. And then he obviously won the match, and then he went on to win the Olympics. But, that would be an interesting one to hear the story of. And I'm sure there's a lot of, back to Barry Davis, right? There's one where he tries to leave, and Gable goes and finds him at the gas station
with a box of donuts.
With a box of donuts, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it was a Hy-Vee.
Like, there's probably a whole bunch of those type of stories out there.
100%. And
yeah,
but I'm even talking like at that point in Kale's career, he was a 4-time undefeated NCAA champion. His greatness had been cemented in some way. But like, how many greats just are we never even aware of because they made one choice that didn't align, or someone else, or it's an outside factor. Like with Tom Brady, it's like an outside factor. Like, no one drafts him, right? And then he's never just in the NFL, and who knows what happens there. Or, this kid doesn't get the right scholarship offer, and he can get more money to wrestle a non-Division I, and they just do that. Maybe that was an Olympic like. You feel like that has to be a thing that happens. I don't know. I think about that a lot. There's a lot of examples of it too, in all sports. Yeah, it makes you think how attainable it can be for people too. It's exciting. Okay, we can do no more questions. It's 9:48. Holy cow! I didn't realize that. Thank you.
When you leave for Chattanooga, you flying Southwest?
Heck no, Delta baby. We will be back Monday. I don't fly till Saturday because the tournament starts Sunday. So giddy up there. We'll be watching Midlands. We'll have a lot of Midlands and Soldier Salute content as the tournaments unfold, and as wrestlers don't wrestle in it. We'll keep you abreast of that too. Let's hope we're done with that. But we must be aware it's a possibility. Thank you guys so much for listening. Sorry we were out for a week, but you know what? We have Christmas too. But we'll be back Monday. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend. Watch a lot of wrestling. That's what we're going to do. See you guys.